You may be thinking to yourself, you may be thinking, that Rachel Zegler chick, the Latino Snow White, the Snow Brown, that Disney has said is so very much just better than everyone else. You may think, could she have possibly made this situation worse for herself? Is there a scenario where she could have possibly made this entire thing worse for herself? You might be thinking, well, why hasn't she made any kind of, public comment or anything of this nature? Well, that's because of the awesome writers' strike in Hollywood. Because of the writer's strike and the actor's strike, she's actually not allowed to comment on any of this insanity around, well, her own horrible statements about Snow White, its history, including, by the way, Gal Gadot, who isn't getting a lot of pushback, was also saying all the same kind of stuff. Oh, Prince Charming is a creepy stalker. We don't want, this is from an old story. We don't want to, honor the past. We think that we should be doing all new things because inherently, if it's old, it's bad. And because we're remaking it with a strong independent woman who don't need no man, it is inherently going to be better. But that's not actually the case. And now, after receiving massive backlash, significant backlash for several different self-inflicted, wounds, self-inflicted reviews, Snow White star Rachel Zegler wears her heart on her chest as she steps out of New York sporting a very emotional slogan on her sweater amid furious backlash over her Disney criticism. So essentially, you have a situation here where she's getting extremely manipulative. The 22-year-old has been at the center of furious backlash from Disney fans following some comments she made about the original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs movie. Rachel, who landed the role of the Disney princess in an upcoming live-action remake, admitted she hated the 1937 classic and its stalker, Prince Charming, as well as the weird storyline in a series of interviews that sparked anger and social media. The brunette appeared to send a very clear message on Sunday when she ran errands in downtown Manhattan wearing a gray jumper emblazoned with the words, "No tears left to cry." Oh my God, don't you just feel so bad? Leave a like on the video right now if you just feel so bad for multi-millionaire Hollywood actress who hates you, expects your money. She hates you, right? She hates your kids. She hates the classics. She's going to make it all better. And it's your fault if you don't like it. Now, what I think is interesting is if she was in downtown Manhattan, she specifically chose to wear a sweater when I believe it's something around 90 degrees outside. This was an absolutely well planned decision. It says, "No tears left to cry." Oh, don't you guys understand how hard it is being a multimillionaire actress who walks on stage and gets jobs because of her skin color? Don't you all know how difficult that is? Why are you making fun of her? You know what I mean? Why are you guys all so mean? The West Side Story star, by the way, that movie lost $100 million plus, I believe. A company with a pair of hoop earrings and a black handbag was carrying a couple of brown envelopes as she strolled along the sidewalk. Last week, several videos of Rachel speaking negatively about the original Snow White movie in various interviews resurfaced online, which led many people to slam her, and even some accused the brunette of gaslighting her fans. Well, remember, Disney tried to release this damage control video and pretend it was some new apology from Rachel Zegler, but it actually wasn't. It was a compilation of old videos that they were trying to make you think was from Rachel Zegler, but it in fact was not. Well, I mean, they were, but they were chopped up. They weren't recent. As well as, of course, criticizing the weird storyline, Rachel teased that in the new film, Snow White is not going to be saved by the prince and will not be dreaming about true love. On that one video posted on TikTok earlier this month has been seen by 10.5 million people. User Angie, who goes by the handle Cozy with Angie, criticized Rachel for failing to acknowledge that women have the right to pursue whatever they want. She accompanied the post, just because women value something different doesn't make her any less valuable. Some women want a career and not marriage. Some women want a marriage or family and not a job. Some women want both. All are to be heard, seen, and valued. And I agree. And that's true feminism. But this is the modern day unstoppable girl boss who don't need no man feminism. I mean, it's just the whole thing is, she's got a nice pair, but those aren't going to last. Of Friends, I say, Gal Gadot and the director. Many people quickly followed up in Angie's footsteps and uploaded their own TikTok videos where they questioned the comments made by Rachel. Speaking at the Disney D23 Expo in California, Rachel said the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. I don't think, I think that when you look at these insufferable broads, or well, really men too in Hollywood, the message that they're sharing doesn't have to be so negative. She could have said, hey, we're looking at, giving Snow White a little more agency over her life to pursue this and that. But they're actually incapable of speaking like a normal human being. So they say the insane stuff. They say, it's inherently bad. Sure, there's going to be some things from 1937 that don't necessarily translate to 2023. And I don't think that people inherently had a problem with that. They had a problem with the way she said it. Like, oh, God, it was just so terrible. Plus, people had a problem that she got caught lying red-handed, about being a huge fan of Snow White, which she admitted in other interviews that she never even saw the movie. She watched it once when she was a little kid and then watched it again when she got the job. You see, I watched it once talking about the movie, and then I went to ride on Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't that sound like some little kid would like? I was terrified. Never revisited Snow White again, she added. But in other interviews, she said she's been a long-time fan and has dreamed of playing this role. At the end of the day, if these movies were that bad, if they weren't about replacing culture, quote-unquote, improving it, then why are they always trying? Why not just make your own story then? Why doesn't the geniusness of Rachel Zegler team up with some other geniuses like Gal Gadot and write their own movie? Why do they have to take Snow White and, make it worse? TikTok user Nutty Butter shared snippets of the interview and questioned why Zegler was being so smug, and captioned her post, "If you hate the original this much, why would you want to make the remake? Please make it make sense." I don't think I've ever seen such a condescending, smug Disney princess ever in my life, they admitted in the clip. And it's correct. They literally could have just said, hey, in this story, Snow White cares about her people more than finding her own happy ending. And that would be all that she had to say. That's it. I think that where it gets mixed up is that people are saying she very well still could have said, hey, we're making X, Y, and Z changes to the movie to update it, and we all know what that means. But then again, she goes on to essentially say, oh, I mean, it was just garbage. It's just garbage. And I'm going to fix it because I'm an unstoppable girl boss. And I don't need no stalker Prince Charming. Here, there's no respect for what Disney did. Shazam 2 actress Rachel Zegler's woke Snow White remake gets labeled as a disgrace. Womp, 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 womp. Now, every time this happens, it, of course, we see these tempests in a teapot. I mean, look at Little Mermaid. That movie definitely did not. I mean, it definitely did underperform because of the backlash. It definitely lost money because of that. So it's going to, remain to be seen about Snow White because Snow White doesn't come out for another year. Now, if Rachel Zegler keeps going out there and pulling her own little Brie Larson, well, then I suspect it's going to be a wild and fun ride for those of us roasting it.